If we have $55,000 that we're trying to borrow, but we need to put a 5% down payment down, the first thing we need to do is find out what the loan is actually going to be for. So we're going to multiply 55,000 times 0.05. And we do that, we'll get $2,750. So we need to subtract that from our 55,000. And when we do that, we'll get $52,250, and that's the amount of the loan. And now let's go ahead and pull up the formula we need to use. And here's the formula we're going to use. We're trying to find the payment, and I know that the principal, the P, is going to be this $52,250. My rate, I believe I forgot to write that down. Let's double check the problem. It's a 10%. 20-year fixed rate mortgage. So the rate is 0.1. All of these problems use an N of 12 because we're paying this monthly. 1 minus 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12 raised to the negative 12 times 20. And it's negative 12 times 20 because it's 12 times a year in 20 years. Let's go ahead and use our calculator for this. Let me bring the calculator over. Alright, let's start off by looking at the 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12. I'm going to do that part first. I always start from the most complicated part of the fraction and the innermost parentheses. So 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12, and I'm going to hit enter. That's what's in the parentheses. I now want to raise that to the negative 12 times 20 power. You have to use your parentheses here. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong answer. And that's what I have for the 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12 raised to the negative 12 times 20 power. I want to now subtract this from 1. So I need to say 1 minus, and now I want to subtract from that what I just entered in my calculator. So I'm going to do second answer. That's taking that 0.1364615,109 and subtracting it from 1. That's now my denominator. What I'm going to do is leave that there. And I'm going to look at my whole numerator. I'm going to put my whole numerator in parentheses. $52,250 times 0.1 divided by 12 end parentheses. That's my numerator. I want to divide it by that denominator I found, which is that 0.8635384891. But rather than type that all in, I'm just going to again do second answer. So it's taking the previous answer and using that. And when I do that, I get the $504 that the problem has for the answer. So that's a $504, because they're asking you to round it to the nearest dollar, that we'll need to put in every month to pay off this mortgage.